Today we're going to learn how to solve two-step equations. Our key terms are solve, solution, equation, variable, and opposite operation or inverse operation. Remember, to solve an equation, we need to leave the variable alone or isolate the variable. We use inverse operations to get the variable alone. First example, solve 3x minus 6 equals 15. On your right, there is a table with things that we need to look for and what we need to do when we find them. For example, the first thing we need to look for is a variable. Where is my variable? It's right here. So what operation is happening next to the x on that same side of the equation? My operation number 1 is subtracting 6. So what do I need to do? I need to add 6. That's my inverse operation. So if I want to keep things organized, I'm just going to make a line right here. And I'll say 3x equals 15 plus 6. What's the second operation? Well, the x is not alone yet. So what's happening there? The 3, it's multiplying the x. So what operation is being performed? Times 3. What's the opposite or the inverse operation? It would be dividing by 3. So x is going to be, first I'm going to add 15 plus 6 is 21, and that's going to be divided by 3. Therefore, x is 7. Okay, so x is equal to a number. We're basically done, and now we're going to check our answer. We write down the equation 3x minus 6 equals 15, and now we're going to substitute x by its value. 3, remember to place parentheses when you're substituting. X equals to 7. 3 times 7 is 21. That is supposed to equal 15. 21 minus 6 equals 15, and 15 is equal to 15. Therefore, we did our problem correctly, or we solved our problem correctly. Next. Example 2. We start again. We're going to look for the variable, and we're going to circle the variable. Put everything that's with it. So my variable is h. My first operation is whatever is happening close to h on the same side of the equation. So what's happening is that we're adding 13. So what's the inverse operation or the opposite operation? Would be subtracting 13 to the other side. So I'm going to write h over 3 equals 11 minus 13. H over 3 equals 11 minus 13. Different signs, find the difference and keep the sign of the number with the bigger absolute value. What's the second operation? Well, we're dividing by 3. So we're going to multiply times 3, the other side of the equation. That means that h is going to be negative 2 times 3. Then h equals 2 times 3 equals 6, and a negative times a positive is a negative. So do I have an x next to a number? or the variable in this case is h. Yes, it is h equals -6. And now we're going to check our answer. We're going to write down the equation. And where you see h, we're going to have its value. Remember to put parentheses. -6 divided by 3 plus 13, that should be equal to 11. A negative divided by a positive is a negative, and 6 divided by 3 equals 2, plus 13 equals 11. Is that true? Well, different signs. We're going to find the difference. 13 minus 2 equals 11, and we keep the sign of the number with the greater absolute value, which is positive. And 11 is equal to 11, therefore we did it correctly. Example number 4. Same thing again. We look for the variable. It's right here. It's a. What operation is happening on the same side of the equation close to the a? We are adding 6. Therefore, my opposite operation or inverse operation is subtracting 6 to the other side. So I'm going to write down -a equals 8 minus 6. Therefore, -8 equals 8 minus 6 equals 2. And 8 is greater, so it's a positive 2. Now, my a is not alone. There's another operation happening there. If you see that negative is basically saying that we have a -1 multiplying that a. So my second operation is multiplying times -1. So I'm going to divide by -1. That means that a is going to be 2 divided by -1. So a is going to be a positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 2 divided by 1 is 2, and this is my answer. So a is equal to a number which is -2, and now we're going to check. So I'm going to write my equation. -a plus 6 equals 8. And I'm going to substitute a by its value. So it's negative. Remember to always put a parenthesis before you substitute the value. A equals -2 plus 6 equals 8. Let's see if that's true. So a negative times a negative equals a positive. And I have my 2 plus 6 equals 8. And since these two signs are the same, I'm going to find the sum. And 8 equals 8. We did it correctly. We have the same on both sides. Example number 5 is similar than the one before, but I just wanted to make sure that you know what to do when you have a negative in front of the variable. Try it yourself and see if you can do it.